In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I made this miniature teapot. Alright, so I have my main ball for my body of the teapot. I have the lid and the spout. I'm going to make this thing super tiny and see what it looks like. Alright, so like I said, I started off with 3 balls of clay. I do that with every teapot. I don't normally throw my teapots off the hump, so I start off with 1 big ball of clay for the body of the teapot, and I really wanted to start with a really small amount of clay just because I wanted to make a mini teapot. I saw this on Instagram actually, and I saw someone make a teapot that only fit enough tea for 1 teacup. I believe mine's a little bit bigger than theirs. It came out a little bit larger than I thought it was going to. I shouldn't have used as much clay as as I did. I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, but I'll probably remake this and I'll probably make another bite size or miniature teapot in the future. I think they're just really cute, and I think they're kind of cool to make, and I love teapots. Recently I've been throwing a lot of teapots and a lot of mugs, and I've also been throwing a lot of colanders, like pasta strainers and stuff like that, like berry bowls, and I feel like those are my 3 main things I've been throwing a lot recently. The weather's been really great, so I've been out in my shed a lot, and it's nice fall weather, so I threw this teapot as of I'm recording this yesterday, and I finished the entire project yesterday. So I went out and I wheeled through inside the shed, which was great weather. The leaves were falling like raindrops. It was really nice outside, and it was a nice breeze too. So I was out in the shed for I think around 3 hours or 3.5 hours maybe, and then I came back inside after throwing I think I threw 2 mugs and this miniature teapot, which was pretty fun to make. I came back inside and I assembled it all too. I let it dry out in the sun on my plaster bat, and I also had to recycle some clay too, so I did that while I was out there. But yeah, back to the teapot. So I, like I said, I used 1 big ball of clay and did a pretty sharp angle. It looks like a miniature, kind of like a vase, like a bud vase right now. But after trimming it a little bit, then I added a handle. I did an overhead handle for this one. I did a tea spout and a lid. I think the only struggle that I really came into, or there's 2 struggles. Number 1 is I think the tea spout was just a little bit too big for the body of the teapot. I wanted the teapot as a whole to be smaller, but the tea spout I feel like is a normal sized tea spout on such a tiny teapot body. And so looking back on it, I wish I did a little bit smaller of a tea spout, but that's lesson learned. I just need to draw out and sketch my teapot before I do them, and I didn't this time. I didn't sketch it all before doing this. I just did it, just in a spur of the moment and wanted to do a project like this. I love teapots, so I will always want to throw a teapot when I sit down on the wheel. And then my second challenge was actually this lid. So I did not trim on the wheel, and that's because it was a really harsh angle. It was like a 90-degree angle on the body of the teapot, and I feel like whenever I trim with like vases and like really harsh angled like bud vases or teapot bodies, they have a tendency to collapse if I don't have enough clay holding it, or if I don't use a chuck. And so I decided just to bring it inside, and it was getting dark anyways outside, so I trimmed it on my banding wheel, and which took longer, but it was still clean and still precise. It wasn't bad, but yeah, the challenge was the lid. So I had to trim the lid a lot because the lid didn't really fit real well with the teapot body. It didn't fit very. It didn't go down very much on the teapot, so it was just like very elevated from the teapot. So what I had to do was I had to trim a lot away from the inside of the lid. I believe that's called the flange, and I had to trim a lot inside of there in order to sit the way I wanted it to on the teapot body. My favorite part of making the teapot was definitely putting all the pieces together, and putting them all together was it's just my favorite part. I love cutting the holes for the teapot. I love when I put the teapot spout on and the personality of the teapot comes out. I love how it's such a simple project that's doesn't take very long to make a teapot. I mean, of course, it's one of the more advanced things to do on the wheel, but I just love how much personality comes out with each teapot, the different spouts, the different handles, the different shapes, sizes. So this one's really cute, palm-sized teapot, very cute. Fits like 1 or 2 teacups, I think. In the future, I think I want to make a even smaller teapot, but I decided to just make this spur of the moment, little tiny cute one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go create something. I hope you guys are inspired, and I'll see you in the next video.